Yeah, John, just on a point of information, they've just given Jesse Lingard a £100,000 a week new contract, and he's not a regular in the team.
No, well, he criticised him last week, along with a few other players publicly, including Rashford and Mkhitaryan, quite a bit. Well, my take on it is, I think it's a typical Mourinho situation. I mean, like, he never ever takes responsibility or blame for the team not doing well. And it's always, well, we need more money. I think it's a bit of a stitch-up between him and Ibrahimovic as well. I think Liam is talking about that a little bit, that he's backing him up to get more money from the club. But he has spent a lot of money. I think you said that there. He spent a lot of money, and I don't think it's been value. I mean, if he's responsible for Pogba coming in at 90 million, I mean, that's a lot of money. And when you think that Kante went to Chelsea for 30 million, there's no doubt which was the better buy, and that's definitely in Chelsea's favour.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of political manoeuvring going on with Mourinho. I think it's typical Mourinho, to be honest. I think, well, they're not doing it because the players are not there. Well, he has spent a lot of money on players, and I think they should be doing better than they're doing. And I think the public criticism of Luke Shaw and the various players that he mentioned last week, I don't ever remember that working for managers.
And certainly not for Mourinho. Was, I mean, he had a love-in with his players at Chelsea in particular, John Terry, Frank Lampard and Drogba. Well, they were the kind of players, admittedly, that you would love, but he's never done this before, has he?
He has, He has. Last year he did it at Chelsea, didn't he? He blamed everyone, as John said. He blamed everyone but himself. Starting with the team physio or the team doctor, and then then he went on to the players. Think of the things that were going on between him and Hazard. Like, the players just down tools because they had enough of his criticism of them in public.
Right.
I think he lost the players completely. Do you agree, John?
Oh, definitely. Well, he humiliated John Terry, who was one of his great players,
Yes, he
in a
did.
match at Manchester City, and he subbed him at half-time.
Yes.
Hazard, he publicly criticised. A few others he publicly criticised. He had that to do with the doctor.
He fell out with Costa as well in a big way.
Yeah, he fell out with them. They're all down tools, last year at Chelsea. Well, look what Conte has done with Chelsea this year, with virtually the same players. Okay, bought Kante, but he's really done a job on almost the same Chelsea players that Mourinho had. And I think that's the way he goes on. If you go back to his first time at Chelsea, they were winning straight away. And most of these other clubs, that he said himself, that he had a good time with all the clubs that he took over straight away. Whereas with Chelsea last year, it was a bad start and he turned on them. So anytime I think he has an opportunity to turn on somebody when they're not doing well, including Luke Shaw and a few of the Rashford, I think has lost his confidence at Old Trafford because they're not winning. He's not scoring goals, but he's turned on them, and he's turned on quite a few players. So I think he has to accept a lot of responsibility. Okay, he has a big job to do at Old Trafford. He has spent a lot of money, but as Liam said, throw money at it again is not always the best policy, especially when you've spent a lot of money anyway.